Well, I couldn't get into crouching. And I'm afraid it was the same for the sensory overload that was everything everywhere all at once, going with the flow. Sitting back and letting it happen is probably the best way to approach it, but in the end, it was all too much for me. I sort of get the idea of multiple universes, where different versions of ourselves play out different destinies independent of what's actually happening to us in the here and now. Here though, the worlds are about to disastrously collide due to the emergence of an intergalactic super-criminal, and it seems the first line of defense is Michelle Yeoh's unlikely middle-aged laundry owner Evelyn, whose only concern when we first meet her is to get an almost unrecognizable Jamie Lee Curtis's hulking auditor to sign off on the business's annual accounts and so keep her in business.
Her dull husband then takes this moment to reveal that he's an alternative version of himself from what he calls the Alphaverse, and that they are about to have the fight of their lives to try to thwart the approaching big bad super villain whose identity I'll hold back from revealing.
And that's your condensed plot. There are lots of characters straddling the universes you'd barely noticed earlier who suddenly drop back in and out of what I'll loosely call the narrative. Just when you think you've got a reasonable grip of one plot strand, it completely unravels and takes you in another direction.
I certainly saw things I've never seen before or ever will again in a movie, including characters with hot dog hands, a bagel is the center of human knowledge, two inanimate rocks sharing a conversation, and then there are the spoofs drawn from original features like 2001 and Ratatouille, two films I didn't think I'd ever bracket in the same sentence.
I also found the several attempts at humor to often be way too crude and vulgar for my taste. Especially when you get two of the villains looking to boost their powers by sticking a sharp object up their behinds, or another baddie getting knocked about by a set of male genitalia.
Good luck to you if you manage to comprehend and actually enjoy this movie, but in the end I'm afraid it overpowered me into resistance. Maybe it was just some giant spoof of all those superhero blockbusters which have obsessed Hollywood for years. I don't know, but despite its successful box office and the ratings here, I sort of wish that for 2 hours at least, I'd woken up in an alternative universe where I actually hadn't watched it at all.